Hey everyone. I'm not even doing my intro today. Um, uh, I'm unhappy that I even have to come on here at all. But I guess I have to explain a few things because I guess things are being misconstrued and taken in ways that they were for in absolutely no way intended. Um, and I think maybe I need to do a better job of explaining what the point I was trying to make because I didn't realize it was gonna be taken in a way that didn't even cross my mind when I typed it. Now, some of you may have seen my community post, and I was actually when I typed that, right? I have been doing grad school work all day. Okay? So, I have been working on my strategic internet marketing class where I'm doing a revision to continue the success of the Tate Museum's digital transformation and kind of giving my advice as to what they should do with their marketing plan going forward. I've been working on my final project. Like I have not been on YouTube and I can't multitask. So when I'm doing homework, I have learned that I can't I can't be on my phone as well. So my phone was I have not been on YouTube. Okay, I have not been on YouTube, and I put my homework down for a little bit, picked up my phone off the charger, went for a walk. As I was walking, I was listening to an Audible book, and I got kind of bored of the Audible book, so I clicked on YouTube, and the first video that came up was a creator, and I'm not even going to advertise it, but if people need the proof, then I will be more than happy to share it with you. But that's just ridiculous if I have to do that. And if I sound angry, if I sound combative, it's because I am. I feel that way. I'm not. This is not what I wanted. This was not my intention with a post. I guess I'm the last to know that there's an issue with. I this is news to me. So this is news to me that anybody had an issue, but, because I don't have an issue, well, we're gonna go into it. Whatever. Um, like I'm not in a good place to do this either. So whatever, but it's important enough to me to address it. So basically what happened is it's a creator. He has like 600 and something thousand subscribers. He was recently had a woman come forward and accused him of SA. Um, and it's been a whole thing, and I've kind of been following it. I have kind of haven't. I don't watch him all the time, but what came up was he had in the title that it was Mental Health Awareness Day, and he had that in the title of his live. And when I clicked on it, because I was like, okay, well maybe there's a resolution, maybe he's I don't know. I wanted to see what was going on, so I clicked on it, and in the bottom there was the hashtag for the mental illness awareness or mental health awareness. And while that is his title and that was his hashtag, he is literally making fun and dragging the woman who came forward and accused him of SA. And that pissed me off. That is what triggered me to write what I did. And I was on my walk. So I was walking as I did it, and I kind of just threw something together really quickly, trying to get my point because I was very triggered by that. And I put it out there. And in the back of my head, I was like, I know how this community works. And someone might take it the wrong way. So I did put that in there just in case. But then I thought to myself, well, I'm still going to post it because I don't have a problem with anybody. So I have these people are my friends. So I don't think it's going to be misconstrued. Well, was I wrong? But that is how that went down. I had no intention. I didn't even know. I did not scroll through it. I literally clicked on that first live. And it kind of sparked me into this thing that I've had an opinion on for quite some time. And this isn't something that I'm coming out of the woodwork now to say because of somebody else. I didn't know anyone in this community had gone live. I had not seen that. I don't know how I'm expected to know. I don't know these things. Oh my God, like, and I'm trying to do this nicely. I really am. But I am gonna stand my ground on it. Because I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't have no other intentions. The only person who crossed my mind as I was typing those words was this creator who was literally dragging this girl's looks and trying to discredit her while his title of his video said mental health awareness and the hashtag. That is what I was talking about. And everybody on here just takes things like and interprets them as things that it's not. And they never bother to ask the question of why. Like, you don't think that I have a reason for what I do on here? You don't think that maybe there's a personal reason for me that I've taken a step back that has nothing to do with anybody else but me? Like, not everything has to do with other creators. And the fact that it's interpreted that way is just mind-boggling. I have not been in anyone's chat recently. At all. I think I went into one chat in the past month. One. Maybe two, but I think I can certainly say for sure one. And it has nothing to do with me not liking people or having a problem with somebody. That's not what it is. What it is that, and I don't even know why I even need to share this. I just don't know why it can't just be accepted that B wants to stay in her lane and do her channel and do the things that I'm focused on here and continue to do it that way. Like, for my own reasons. I don't know why I have to share those reasons, but it has nothing to do with anybody else. And if somebody else had an issue, nobody's contacted me. So, I mean, that's news to me. I don't have an issue with anybody. The only people I have an issue with are the ones that I talk about. And they know who they are. We all know who they are. And yes, I've been saying I've been disappointed in the community. Haven't we all been disappointed in the community lately? Have there not been behaviors going on that are just absolutely disgusting? I mean, I don't know why that's being interpreted as anything other than it is either. And, if I have an issue, first of all, I'm allowed to back away for my own personal well-being and my own personal reasons. I am allowed to do that. That is not, I don't understand how that's problematic to anybody. I don't understand how that's at all offensive at all. For me, it's that, over the summer I used YouTube, I kind of was using it for like social stuff. I was getting really invested in stuff that it was too much of it, like an emotional roller coaster for me. And I'm a kind of person that, being close with other people on here, it's not good for me. It's not good for me. And I don't mean that like I'm suddenly not friends with people or I suddenly dislike people. That's not what it means. It just means that I need to I need to stay in my own lane for a little bit. Because the way things are on YouTube is very different than the real world. And it's not a bad thing. So I don't want people to take that as me accusing them of being bad or not being real or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the way YouTube works, things like friendship and stuff work very differently. And it's not a good or a bad thing. It just is what, and for me personally, with the things that I struggle with my own issues, my own feelings of, my own issues that I've been open about in the past that I'm not going to be open about now because I'm sure people will just laugh at it. Sorry, guys. I'm so tired of this. I'm sorry. I don't even want to post this now. I'm not in a good place as it is. And I didn't post that looking to cause a problem with anybody. I didn't post that with anybody from this community in mind. It's something I've felt for a long time, and I thought I was just sharing my opinion, and I didn't see anything wrong with that. And I also don't see why I shouldn't be able to do that. Why I should be quiet because it might offend somebody else. Well, I can tell you for a fact that other people don't keep their mouth shut because they care about my feelings. That's not how the world works. Like, if in anywhere, in any part of it, like, I'm entitled to have an opinion, and without worrying about that kind of thing when it like none of that crossed my mind. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You know? Yeah, I like to think that people on here know me and people on here know that I have a good heart, that I have not done anything to warrant this, coming back at me like this. Like, do people not like, you're reading into like what chats I'm in and who I don't go into chats with. And I haven't been in anybody's chat, so I don't understand why that means something. You know? And if that person's wondering, they can certainly ask me. But it has nothing to do with that. It's a me thing. I don't see why that's bad. I just want to do the content that I enjoy doing on here and not get involved in that other stuff. It doesn't mean I don't like people. It doesn't mean I don't respect them. It doesn't mean that I'm out here to be their enemy or to talk shit about them or to do that's not what this is about for me. Like that's not what I'm here for. I don't understand why everything has to be perceived in like that it's against somebody when all I'm doing is taking care of my own mental health and doing what I need to do to keep myself okay. And I don't know why that's a problem or why that's something that we need to scrutinize or why that's something that we need to, attack me over. I don't understand. I don't understand. All I was trying to say with that is that first of all, I had a huge problem with that really triggered me. Seeing somebody and he was getting super chats, he was getting a ton of super chats, and here he is using that hashtag to get into the algorithm and using that as his title while he is dragging a woman who came forward saying that he sexually or SA'd her. And I had an issue with that. I had a big issue. So that is what sparked me to write that. And then it kind of sparked me into thinking about how I feel about the fact that all of these causes, like remember when everybody had like those wristbands for the causes, and there was actually a case study that I did for grad school in my social media marketing class done about the foundations that do research for breast cancer and their social media campaigns to gain awareness and whether they're effective or they're not. And as it stands, it was found that they were not effective because while it encouraged people to, those copy and paste those statuses and share stuffs, it never ended in actually with a call to action that actually made a difference by gaining donations. So people were just hitting that share button or using it as a status with like mindlessly, like it wasn't helping the cause. That's really all the point I was trying to make with this, but I didn't do a good job. I was walking. I didn't type any more of it. I really didn't realize it was going to be taken in this way. I had no idea anyone had gone live. I don't have a problem with people talking about that. I think it needs to be talked about. I think mental health is something that needs to be talked about a lot. And I think it's great if people told their stories. I wouldn't know anything about that. But, I think that what we need to normalize though, is not having to make things a day to, make mental health be important. Like, I think that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that anybody's doing anything wrong by talking about it. It really depends on the cause. If you're doing that because you want to do good and you want to have those conversations, that's wonderful. That's positive. What's not positive is using it as a buzzword for content and to virtue signal. And then there are people that'll also click it and share it like, look, I'm a good person. I talked about it. I have a problem with that too. It's like the corporations that, make huge profits off of Pride Month when these are companies that don't do anything for that, the community otherwise. It's just for that month. And then once that month is over, then it's back to, the company, you know what I mean? It's like these causes, these companies decide to be all for, but really they don't stand for it at all. And I'm talking about like corporate stuff. I'm not talking about creators in our little community. That is not what I was referring to. That didn't even cross my mind. No, what I have been told in the comments of that post that was done today, that is a good thing. That is how this should be handled. That is not where my issue lies. That is a like that is I have respect for that. If you're doing that to share stories and actually open up a conversation, that's great. What I'm talking about is the people who don't actually care and they're using it to rake in money and views and sales and all of that. And the money just goes to them and they're not, it would be one thing if they were donating these super chats to an organization that, does outreach or helps people, gets people up with counselors or, helps people who can't pay for their medication pay for their medication. But no, this dude is just on here dragging this woman. Well, everybody, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry if I have a problem with that. I figured, like, I don't know, maybe I should have been more specific, but that is where that was from. And then it just drove me into my issue with this whole corporate for the cause when it means nothing at all. Walmart did that a lot. When I worked at Walmart, they used to do that a lot and it used to bother me. And I write about it on Facebook. Like, it's really not about like that. I think that and the reason I won't mention it is because if I have no intention of doing something good, like having conversations with people, like opening up for people to tell their stories, if I have no intention of doing that, then I'm not going to just post it mindlessly because it makes me look like a good person if I have no intention to contribute and help. That is the point I'm trying to make. That is the point I was trying to convey. Not that I think that anybody here did anything wrong, not because I was being passive aggressive at anybody, because not everything has to do with this community, believe it or not. Like, I'm not looking to have an issue with anybody right now. Okay? Like, there is a reason that I have taken a step back from YouTube, and it is because I'm having a hard enough time keeping my own head above water, and I do not need that. I didn't come on here looking to have a fight with anybody. And the fact that things get interpreted like that, it's upsetting. I thought people knew me better than that. I hate being the last to know that there's a problem. And I seem to find myself there a lot. But I don't, it's things like that make you feel that you can't say anything on here because, apparently I need to keep in mind how other people might take things. Well, that's not always what's on my mind. Literally, what didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even cross my mind. I put it in there as an afterthought because something like that had happened to me before. But then like I said, I decided to post it anyway because I was like, no, these people are my friends. They're not going to see it that way. They know better. They know me. Apparently not. I am nothing but like half the time I just want to scream this from the rooftops. Like I am a good person. I go hard for the people I care about, and I care about people very deeply. Like friendship to me. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I have to mute this. Sorry, I'm back. Like I said, guys, I, I'm dealing with a lot in my personal life. Like, I want to come onto YouTube and have it be fun again. I want to come onto YouTube and be able to share my opinion without getting attacked for something that literally isn't even relevant. I want to be able to come onto YouTube and interact with people and have that support system that I desperately need right now. Um, and while being able to give you guys awesome content and do fun stuff on here without worrying about how it's interpreted. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Um like I just really don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I just I think I've been pretty clear about the fact that I just kind of want to get my clips and show them to you guys, and I want to discuss them with you and maybe talk about some other stuff. And I didn't realize that me saying that I kind of wanted to stay in my lane was being interpreted as anything other than just that. Um, and I didn't. I, well, I had no idea. I had no idea. So, yeah, like I said, if somebody had a problem, nobody's told me. Nobody's told me. Ball hasn't been in my court for a long, long time. A long, long time. So I didn't realize that there was an issue. So I mean, I kinda just wanted to do my channel and stuff, and I think, like, I was kinda reading through some of the comments, and I mean, good God. Like, at first, I wanted to, respond to each and every one of them and defend myself and try to explain it, but then I realized it's pointless. Like, the fact that people even think that at all is just concerning and upsetting to me, actually, um, because I haven't done anything that would at all in my opinion, at all suggest anything like that. Like, I'm not being passive aggressive. I don't know why everything I do is, like, analyzed. I've never been that way. Yet, I mean, this would not be the first time that I've been accused of that. Like, it's not about oh my god. Like, not everything is about this community. Not everything I talk about is about this community. There are other YouTubers. And maybe I should have been more specific. Lately, I just kind of like, go in between just feeling really sad and angry and frustrated, and I just don't think it's fair to put that on me. I just don't. I just don't. Um, or unless everybody needs to be quiet so that they to be mindful of that other people might interpret things otherwise. Unless everybody has to do that, then I don't understand why that needs to apply to me. I know what my intentions were. I know what my intentions were. I know who I was directing it as. I know what I know those things. And I know it wasn't what's being twisted and said. So why should I have to defend it? But it matters to me because I don't know. I could say a lot about it, and I mean, at this point, though, I don't even I don't even know why I should have to talk about my own stuff. I've I made the decision to not discuss certain things and to just do what I want to do with the channel and not have to bring that onto here because not everything needs to be brought onto YouTube at all. Like, if I was actively going after somebody and throwing jabs, that's when I would expect the responses that I got today. That's when. But when I literally have done nothing negative towards anyone at all, except for like the people that I talk about, which are like Natasha and Dorothy, and I don't get where that's coming from. I don't understand. I have every right to be here as much as anybody else. I have a voice and I have a right to use it. I'll take whatever consequences come with that. So if people want to read into it and they want to twist this into something that it's not, have at it. Have at it. But that's your decision to do that. And I always just have to live by the thought that, if I put good out into the world. I try to be a kind person to everybody. I really try because I don't want to cry. But I have not always liked myself. And I have not always been a good person. And I have worked so hard to change that. So I try to put good out into the world. And I just hope someday it comes back to me. That's all. I'm not on here to cause fights with people right now. Not with people that I didn't expect to. I don't care if Natasha talks about me. I don't care if Dorothy talks about me. But like people who I didn't know there was an issue with, that bothers me. Especially when it results in people thinking I'm some horrible monster. Or that I'm being anything other than who I am on here. And I didn't know it wasn't obvious. It's frustrating, guys. Like, put yourself in my shoes. And I'm a very strong person and I can take a lot, but it's like if you hit me at the right place at the right time, I wouldn't have posted it at all if I had any inkling that this was going to happen. I wouldn't have posted it at all. I would have just kept my mouth shut. But I didn't know that. I had no idea. I had no idea. But I'm not going to say I'm sorry for posting it because that is my opinion and I have the right to having an opinion. So, no, I'm not sorry that I posted it. I'm just sorry that people interpreted it in ways that it was not intended. And I am just hoping that after listening to me explain things, that they have the common sense and wherewithal to process that information and realize that this is not anything other than exactly what I'm telling you right here. Why would it be? I'm not looking to cause drama with anybody right now. I could if I wanted to, and I choose not to because I don't want to. Why would I do that? That's not me, guys. If you haven't done it, I mean, hurting my feelings is not a reason for me to drag somebody. So that's not it, I takes a lot to get me to go off on you. So, that's all. And I'm allowed to do things like, I hate the fact that everything I do gets read into. Like, I'm under some magnifying glass and everything is interpreted as being sending a message that it literally is not at all what it is. But no one ever bothers to ask me why. Nobody ever bothers to say anything until it blows up like something like this. And I just don't get it. I want YouTube to be fun again. I just want to be able to do what I've been doing. I've been excited for the stuff I've been putting together to do on here. I like doing my walk and talks where I just kind of chat and say about my feelings about stuff going on in the community. I enjoy just kind of doing my own thing and not really branching out. And it doesn't mean that, like, if you're in my comment section, I'll socialize with you. I have no issue doing that. I still like people. Like, it's just I'm not going out of my way. I can't put myself out there like that. It doesn't work for me. So and I don't know why that's a problem. I really don't. Like, subscribers that's, I don't mind. I like interacting with subscribers and stuff, but like, with like the roller coaster that is creators and stuff, I just need to back away for my own well-being. Like, and it's a me thing. It's a me thing. My channel isn't about being focused on that kind of stuff. My channel, I don't want to lose focus as to why I started my channel and why I made the decision to call out what I call out. That's all. That's all. And I realize that the world isn't fair. I get that, but I refuse. I refuse to play by rules that others don't need to play by. That is not fair, and I will not do it. So, yeah, there's that as well. Like, it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. I not this time. And then, I mean, yeah, I don't understand why things get twisted into things that they're not. And that is how things twist into these bigger issues that blow up into this drama that starts here. And it's a lot of the time through a misunderstanding or something that isn't even relevant. Like, sometimes it's like, or else you're like looking for a reason to come at me. I mean, maybe, I don't know. That's news to me. It's news to me. I don't know, guys. It's frustrating, It's frustrating. And it's crap like this that makes me just not even want to do this at all. I just really, I urge people, like, yeah, I just don't understand why some things are appropriate to say to me that I don't know how that's appropriate. I don't know how that's at all. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why I'm being attacked over this. I really don't. Literally wasn't talking about anything in this community. Literally was referring to people who exploit these causes, and I just have an issue with this corporatization of profiting off of other people's struggles. I don't like it. And I'm not saying it's anyone in this community. I'm literally talking about much bigger entities than just here. And like I said, I mentioned earlier what triggered my response. What triggered that post? I'm very clear about that. But my sentiment about it in general, and it is something I post on Facebook frequently, and I'm entitled to that. I'm entitled to that. And before my phone started blowing up with a bunch of responses, I actually was recording a video to explain it a little bit better because I wanted to go further into my thoughts on it. I wanted to kind of go further into it and talk about it in a little more depth. And then I realized that my phone was blowing up, and then I saw some of it, and then I was like, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna come on here and talk about it and clear this part of it up because I guess this is where we're going with this. Great. Just what I wanted to do today. Just what I wanted. Heavy sarcasm. But I'll post that other video too if you would like me to hear my more in-depth analysis of what I feel about that whole thing in general, like that whole notion of having like an awareness day or month or stuff like that. And I didn't say it couldn't be done right. I think that having people share their stories is the right way to go about doing it. That is and that's literally what I say in that video. That's like before I even started receiving these responses. That's how I felt like it just, I had no idea I didn't know. It's so frustrating. Like, I've been doing homework all day. And yeah, not wasn't looking to have a whole debate and have people come at me. And it's nice to know though that people are thinking these things. That's good to know, because it's interesting to know, that's for sure. Because I don't intend, like, none of that is intended. None of it is against, like, I am not, my not going to somebody's chat this month or whatever, it has been because I'm trying to, I haven't been in anybody's. I've been I think like I said, I know I've been in at least one, possibly two chats. One of them not even in this community, and the other one is, but it was like to type 3 or 4 different sentences about a particular topic that was being talked about. That's it. Didn't spend all the time in there. I'm just not on YouTube as much anymore, except for when I'm doing my own content. I'm trying to take a step back and not be on YouTube as much. So I turn it off. I have a lot going on in my life, like, I know a lot of you can relate, but, like, financially and with everything going on, I've had to take on another job, and I don't have time. I am pushing myself to a wall, like, at my limit of what I am capable of doing as a human being, just to keep my family and my head above water. Like, I just don't have the time I used to, and the fact that that's being interpreted as me having a problem, that hurts. That hurts. Because that's not what it's about. I don't think like that. Like, it's that I just don't have the time. And the time that I do have, I've taken a step away from stuff because it's too emotional. I get too emotionally invested in it. And I end up getting hurt. And that's a me thing. It is not because people do anything to me. It is because it is a me thing. I just was hoping that people could just appreciate my content and enjoy my content and enjoy what I'm passionate about doing on here. And that's the end of it. I've been trying to put together a bunch of, like, little clips on here for my lives that I thought were interesting. I have a bunch of them. I've got, like,
Oh, there's about to be some tick turtles. Ooh, there's about to be some tick turtles.
Or
I know why y'all watch me, because you're all enslaved and get in your damn cages. Send me all your money. Send me all your money, or I'm gonna get the cat of 9 tails. I've got y'all here, my pretties. My pretties.
See, that's what I want to do. I want to have fun with my channel. And I really should have just put that at the beginning, because now people are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, wow, what a loser. But I'm not. I'm a human being that has feelings and gets upset about stuff, because especially when it was not like anything I planned on having to deal with. If I bring something on myself, I'll keep my mouth shut and take it, because if I bring it on myself, I know I bring it on myself. This is not one of those instances. This was a complete surprise to me. And like I said, I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I just think that if you're going to be actually doing something for awareness, you're actually going to do something with your actions that show that, like, with helping, not just using it to profit and use it as a hashtag, like the buzzword and stuff. And I'm really talking about corporations. Like, that really was what was crossing my mind. A lot of it is, and we all see it, like, with Pride Month and stuff like that. But, like, what are these companies actually doing to help? And I see people on the internet doing it too, like on social media. Like I said, sharing and saying things, saying like it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Saying that doesn't make a difference. And they did that study with the breast cancer thing. You have to have a call to action with a plan to that's what I'm saying. I literally say in that video that having people come up and share their stories, share your story, I say that that's the right way to do it. I don't have a problem with that. It's a completely different ball. Like it's not even the same thing. So I'm sorry if people misunderstood that. I'm sorry if you think I'm a terrible person because you read into something that wasn't there. I don't know. Um, I like to think that people know me here and they know that that's like not something I would do. Like I'm really not a cold-hearted like person like that, and I'm not out here throwing passive aggressive jabs at people. That's not my style. I that I can't help I mean let's be honest though. I mean, I can't help but feel that that's their jabs thrown at me. I can't help but feel that way. But I don't like register it and get upset because it's probably not about me. You know what I mean? Like you can't live like that where everything is about like a direct thing at you. Like that must be a very miserable way to think. And I don't mean that anyone in particular either. Like I just saying in general, like because it seems to be a large number of people. Um yeah, and that is something. I do take things very personally sometimes. So, I mean, I've had to make that conscious effort to not look into things too much. And just hope that people would have enough respect for me that if they have a problem with me, they'll come to me directly, which is what I would do for you, for anybody else. That is how I would handle it. So you're not going to find out that I have a problem with you through like something like it's not going to be a surprise to you. It's not going to be a surprise. And I don't foresee myself having an issue with it. Like that's not how I roll. That's not what I do with my channel. Like that's not what my content is. I'm not interested in that. I just kind of want to do my fun Natasha pictures and like going into her stuff and giving my like commentary on the stuff that I see. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me crazy for wanting to just go over the clips I have and give my commentary on what I think's going on and how I think we got to this situation, that this place and this community and what's happened and what we can do to make it better. Can we make it better? I just want to have those kinds of conversations. I'm not looking to fight with anybody. I'm not looking to compete with anybody. I'm not on here to do any I don't want anything to do with anything except my content. Yeah. Some of the stuff I just think is funny and like you got to have some self-awareness and some you got to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes. Like I thought this was really funny. It's like, creators in this community like how rude. Can't you see I'm shouting? Like I thought that was funny. Because there are some creators that come on here and they just yell and scream and they I mean, if you can't make yourself laugh, I thought, I like to say that to a lot of people too. Is that, I know you're disappointed with the way you turned out. We all are. And half the time I thought people know who I'm talking about. The person I mostly talk about that I don't mention their name is one that if you mention their name, it opens a floodgate of harassment that I am quite frankly not interested in opening up. So usually that is who I'm talking about. If I don't mention names. Otherwise, I generally do mention names. I thought that was obvious. I thought people knew that. But I guess not. So I guess this is a good learning experience for me to know where people's heads are at. And this is a good opportunity for me to clarify that that is not what's going on. And that is not what this is. And that is not at all what I am looking for to do. And I am not this big, horrible monster for having an opinion and posting it about something. That is just not fair. And that is just not true. And I think I explained myself and why I feel the way that I do pretty well. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't really know what I've done otherwise that's so, I don't even know what. I don't even know. all I want is to just do my content. That's all I want. That's all I want. You know, maybe if in the future, if I have more time going forward, maybe I will start to go in chats a little bit more. Maybe if I'm not in such a stressed out, like on the go, constantly doing stuff, like working like 3 jobs, like, I, and going to grad school, like maybe at some point, I might have to mute in a second, guys. Maybe at some point I will be able to go into chats more often like I used to. But until then, me not being in a chat literally just means I'm busy. And I need the time that I do have, like I mentioned before, I need to keep myself okay. And YouTube can get really difficult. And especially for me, where I get very emotionally involved. And I care very deeply about people. And I definitely go hard for people, but and I don't regret any of it. I think I'm happy I do it, and I'm glad I do, and I don't. That's not what I mean. It's just it is taxing on me to do that. And I just don't have it right now. That's all. That's literally all it is. All you have to do is ask. But I hope that this clarifies this a little bit for you. I was in no way looking for an argument or a fight or anybody to be angry with me or upset with me or disappointed in me in any way, shape, or form. I was simply feeling emotional about what I had seen another creator do, and I made a statement about it. And it's gotten blown up into something that it's not, and I'm sorry I didn't explain it better to begin with. Going forward, I've learned that I can't even give that sort of wiggle room, and I will keep that in mind. But I'm not sorry. Like, that's how I feel. That's just my opinion. I think a lot of us feel that way. That there shouldn't have to just be a day to be aware of things. We should all just be good people. The awareness shouldn't end when that day ends or that month ends. And I feel like that happens all too much with these corporations and these people who use it for their own benefit and gain without actually giving back and helping the cause. That's just my opinion. I think that, if you're going to speak about it, you better be prepared to do something about it. And that's exactly what happened today from what I've read, is that people told their stories. That's great. That's how that should be done. What shouldn't be done is somebody just quoting and preaching about things and then doing the opposite, or not even doing that at all, or using it as their topic when they don't even speak about it, using a hashtag of something they're not even talking about. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going after. Not the people who actually are trying to make a difference. That's literally not the point. So, I'm sorry if it got misconstrued that way. I'm sorry if people assumed it was about them. I'm sorry if people, I don't know. Like, I just wish people would come to me, and ask me. You want to know something? Ask me. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of the stuff, doesn't need to be, some stuff doesn't need to be discussed on YouTube. But if you ask me privately, I'm not going to lie to you. I just don't mention it on here. And that's my right to do. I don't need to bring everything that I deal with and I don't need to make all of it public. Sometimes I think the best way to do things is to do things privately. And especially when you have a respect for the other person, especially when I'm just saying hypothetically. I understand that YouTube is all about calling people out and starting drama and whatever. And, I know that no one likes to own that either, but that's not what I was doing here. That's not what I was doing here. That's not what a lot of people are doing. A lot of the times people get attacked on here for things that were completely misinterpreted. And I've said that. I'm open about all of that. I've stood up for people that have had their entire, they've been jumped on like they're these evil people for saying something that was completely misconstrued. Like, that was not the point they were making, but it was, of course, twisted. So people know, I mean, other creators, you guys know how I feel. You guys get it. I know you do. It just sucks. It just sucks because to me, this came out of nowhere. To me, this is shocking. To me, this was something I didn't want to have to deal with. And the only reason I might delete that post in general is just because, honestly, I'm not sorry for posting it. I still mean it. That's how I feel. But if it's going to be misconstrued and interpreted as something it's not, and people are going to take offense to it and think I'm talking about them, then I don't want them to feel that way. I don't want anybody to feel that I'm coming after them. The people I'm coming after, I will refer to you by name. And I do. The only time I'll act cryptic or whatever is when it is about this one particular person who I have said their name before, but guys, when I tell you that this person, and everybody should know who this is, I don't know how this is a secret. I am not the only one who deals with this. When I tell you it's obsessive and it is harassment, like textbook definition harassment, and it is constant, I mean that. And I do not want, I do not want to deal with that anymore. Like it is beyond inappropriate, and that's why I don't say this person's name. That's why. And anything else is either because it's something that I don't want to talk about publicly, out of respect. So it's coming from a good place that I don't say it publicly, or it's just something that's about me that I don't feel that I want to share. But generally speaking, I use names. And I think I've been clear about that. And I think my hesitance to say exactly what I'm upset with is that I don't want to get involved in these things right now. That's not the direction I want to go with my channel. And it's complicated and there's a lot to it. And I don't think it's necessary for me to go on here. But I assure you, I have a very good reason for everything that I do. And everything that I do is logical and based on I would challenge anybody to handle it any other way. But that's not even where I'm at. Like, that's not even what's being discussed. Like, it's not. It just, it pisses me off. This is a shock to me. I'm not gonna lie. But I hope that people, if I can have anybody take anything out of this, it's that, I thought people knew me better than that. I thought, when I say I'm a good friend, I'm a good friend. And it's often to my detriment. And the person I was talking about on YouTube yesterday, who had betrayed me, and that person, you know what, I will say it. I'll say it out loud. It's fine. I mean, if she has a problem with it, she'll text me. And I don't want to, because it's water under the bridge with me and this person. It's water under the bridge, and it's fine. Everything is fine, and I wasn't ever really angry, but it's one of my mods. It wasn't at a creator. I wasn't talking about a creator. Maybe I should have been specific, but I didn't want anybody. I didn't want to bring up like old dirty laundry. This happened. Our issue was, I don't know, when was it? Back in April, maybe March or April, maybe May. I don't remember. It was a couple months, but like, I just didn't want to bring that out there again. So, if that was interpreted as being towards somebody it wasn't, then my apologies. That was about one of my mods who has said they're sorry, and who I'm not. I can't be mad at in the first place. But anybody who knows me can tell you I'm a good friend. When things end, when I'm like, I lose touch with people, it's not on my part. It's not on my part. It's not because I didn't respond. It's not because I didn't, put the effort into the friendship. It's never that way. It is always the other way around. And it doesn't happen all that often to me, but when it does, it hurts. It hurts, and it leaves you with that thing in the back of your head that makes you not want to trust anybody. But I can't help myself. Call me crazy. But my intention was never to come at anybody in a passive aggressive manner, or else you happen to be this creator, and he is not in this community. He is. I don't even know what his genre would be. Honestly, I'll have to Google it. Maybe commentary. I'm not sure. But I was just very triggered and upset by what he was saying and how he was using an awareness day. It just bothered me. So that is where all of that stemmed from. And I hope everybody listened to this to the end, because, I'm really not a bad guy. I don't even play one on YouTube. I just am who I am. Just kind of let me do my Natasha stuff. Let me go through my clips of everything. Let me talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. Let me, if something piques my interest and I feel that I need to respond to things, then I will, and we'll go there. But I was really hoping this, I don't want this to be one of them, but, I don't. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I think things are going to get very interesting, and I guess people don't like it when you're cryptic. So here's why I think things are going to get really interesting. And here's another shout out. I'm not saying this is anybody in particular, so be very clear. I am not talking about anybody in particular, because this is a YouTube-wide phenomena. This is not something that is particular to any one person, and I don't have a problem with it either. So, spoiler alert. Please do not read into this. I hate the fact that I even have to say that. Things are going to get interesting because the holidays are coming up, and drama brings in money, and money is how what people want, for the holidays. So things are going to get interesting. That is why I say that. It's just a fact. You're going to start to see people who aren't live very often. They're going to start coming on a lot more. And it's all about the hustle, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying, I'll probably be on here more often. I'm not saying that because I'm criticizing anybody. I'm only saying that because that's literally how it's going to be. But that's why I said that, in case anybody was curious as to why that was said. So that wasn't about anybody in particular. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to set the record straight. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that I've been working on, like clip videos and really interesting things that I want to share, that I have some good commentary that I've put some thought into about. Natasha's actually done some stuff recently that I would like to discuss. One particular thing that she's done recently that I really feel needs to be discussed, and I'm going to play it. I need to redact some of the information that was divulged during it, because the internet is no place for that sort of information, yet Natasha seems to think it was. But we need to address that. There's actually quite a bit of stuff that we need to address with her. And yeah, so hopefully you all can, I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I didn't mean to make anybody feel like I was coming at them. Like, I'm sorry, like truly and honestly, I'm sorry if somebody felt that way. Because that couldn't be further from the truth. I literally didn't know anybody had gone live. Had I known, had I seen what happened, if that's what went on, if people went up and told their stories, but that's great. I wouldn't have anything bad to say about that. Why would I? Why would I get angry about that? Like, can somebody explain that to me? Like, why should that bother me? I think that stuff's pretty obvious, but I guess it's not. I think that's great. I think that's stuff that should be happening. That's literally my point. But I guess I'm going to post this, and I'll leave in the stuff that I wish I could take out of it. I wish I could scroll back to the beginning of this and redo it, but it is what it is. I'm just going to put it out there and, hope for the best, right? I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, I do plan on being on here more. because I do want to put out more content. It's just I have a lot going on in my life, so it's been difficult to factor in and how I'm going to make that happen. But when I say that I want YouTube to be like on my channel to be like a positive place, I mean that, like, in terms of at like drama that isn't part of what I'm talking about. I'm not looking to have issues with people other than who I talk about. Not, I mean, if you would like to have an issue with me, let me know, but I'm not going to be starting that. That's not going to come from me. So, just fair warning there. It's not me. And I do notice, though, and I will say this, and I hope other people notice this, and by other people I will be cryptic because they'll know I'm talking about them. Keep an eye out on the people that try to get in your ear and try to make you angry at other people and tell you that people are talking about you who aren't talking about you, because people do it to me too. Okay. And I hate it. I will not be around people that do that. The triangulating drives me up a wall. I will not associate with people who do that. I don't want them near me. I don't want them anywhere in my vicinity where they can affect me. So keep an eye out, because I do see that happening, and I don't, yeah, just creators, just be mindful of that. Because I myself have jumped. Somebody has said that somebody was talking about me, and I reacted when that never happened. There are people that just want to start fights between people because they find it amusing and it's their entertainment, and they will do whatever it takes to make those happen, and they do it very well. So, I mean, people can believe me or they could not. I mean, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other, because I can't force people to feel any which way. But I mean, I consider myself to be about as real as it gets. Like, I'm not going to come on here and lie to you. If you want to, if people have questions, I will answer your questions. I'm not going to bullshit you. There's no point in bullshitting on YouTube. There's no point. But if you don't ask, then you can't, like, assume my answer. Like, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff like that. People going chat to chat saying someone's saying something that isn't happening, and that person then reacts and then looks like a dumbass because, like, that never happened. So I don't know. I'm talking about something I saw the other day, and I'm trying to remember whose channel it was on. Somebody told a creator that Jess was talking about them and Jess was not talking about them, and that this creator looked like a dumbass, like going on and on and on about it when that literally didn't happen. That's what I was talking about. I cannot remember the name of his creator, though. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. But that's what I'm talking about. It's those people like that. So somebody went into this creator's chat and said that Granny's Watching was talking about them when Granny's Watching was not talking about them. And then this creator went off and started being like, and she looked stupid. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, if you would like to know the who, what, where, when, and how, if you feel I'm being cryptic, just let me know, and I'll let you know who and what, where, and when I was talking about. And why. I'm a very open person. But yeah, I'm gonna upload this. Hopefully it uploads fast. I hope people can, stick with me here. Give me a chance. I'm not the big bad guy here. I have the best. I don't have, like, ill intentions, and I just want to do what I want to do on here and share my content that people have given me feedback that they enjoy. That's all. That's really all I want to do. And if you want to be a part of that, that's great, and I appreciate everybody who wants to be a part of that. And if you don't, then that's okay too. Can't be friends with everybody. And half the time people will end up changing their mind after a while. Because I can only control my own actions, and I can only, show how genuine I am through my actions, and that can only be shown through time. So, YouTube is definitely like a learning experience, and you have to learn how to navigate things, and sometimes that means or puts people in situations where they, like myself, and I'm talking about myself here, where I did kind of lose sight of who I was and what I was doing, and I had to reel that back in really quickly, because it's not me. That's not me, and I can only be myself. I don't really try to be anybody else. It's really not. It sounds exhausting. Um, don't you think if well, whatever, people can think what they want, but yeah. I've put on a whole bunch of these. I have a whole bunch of really, I just want to see a cute picture. You want to end this with something cute? You want to see? I've always loved the fall. So there's me in a pile of leaves, apparently eating leaves. It was very cute. I saw that and I was like, I'm going to put that up here. Just like I had my Halloween costume of me as a bee. Where is that one? There it is. I think this is like the first picture of myself I shared with you guys. And where's the other one? Oh, yeah. Hopefully you guys voted on this, because I didn't include Traveler, but I said who wore it better, Molly or me, and then I had Traveler in there too. But I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna get off of here and try to feel better about everything, because I'm not really particularly happy right now. So, but I hope everyone's having a great night, and I hope people can forgive me if I at all hurt them in some way. If I at all let them down, that truly wasn't my intention. Nothing's changed. I'm still the person I am. That's what I have to offer. So, but I will be back on maybe later tonight with depending on how bad it is when I open my phone. Depending on how bad it is, depending on how I can navigate things without actually having to read some of it. Because it does affect you after a while. I mean, guys, anybody who says it doesn't bother them is lying. When it gets to a certain point, especially when it's for something that like you feel is so unfair, because it literally isn't what you meant. Like, that's what bothers me the most. Like I said, if I deserved it, I deserved it. But I don't deserve none of this. So yeah. But I have a couple clip videos that I wanted. Like I said, I want to address something that happened on Natasha's channel very recently that was incredibly inappropriate, and I don't even understand how that is at all. Like, I mean, I feel like it was kind of a new low for her. Yeah. And just because I have an opinion that differs from yours doesn't mean I don't like you as a person, right? Like, I disagree with a lot of things that other people think are okay or not, don't have a problem with. And me expressing that I have an opinion is not an attack on anybody. It's just me stating my opinion. I'm not saying that people who disagree with me are bad or wrong or any of that. It just means I have an opinion. Just want to say that too, because there was a lot of this kind of thing going on with when I said that I had an issue with how people cover true crime, because I do have an issue with it, but it's more complicated and in depth than me just stating it that way would imply. And I want to have a conversation about that too. I've been saying that for weeks now, and I should just do it. Because I understand both sides, and but if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not saying you're a bad person. You can disagree with me. We don't all have to agree with the same things. I'm not gonna, I'm not one of the people out here like calling people out and mocking people and harassing people I'm not one of those people, am I? Like, those people I can see why maybe you'd have an issue, but like me just having it, I don't understand that. Literally doesn't make a difference. Like, it just means that we don't agree on something. I don't need to agree with everything that's not a fun world to me. That's quite boring. But yeah, I don't know. So I might be on later tonight doing that, depending on how I feel after I open my phone, which I'm not optimistic about, but you know, we'll see. Um, and let's see. If not, I'll do it tomorrow night, and we can go over all of that. But I'm kind of like losing my energy and to kind of be on here. So, I mean, you can drop in the comments. Let me know what you think. Just keep in mind that I'm not on here looking to argue with anybody right now. And I like I said, I just hope people can understand where I'm coming from here, because I meant no disrespect or jabs or shade or anything like that at anybody. That wasn't my intent. And I'm sorry I got a little upset in this live. Kind of don't like to show that about myself, but sometimes I can't help it. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great night, and I will be back on here better than ever and cheerful, and I will not be putting this on you guys ever again. I just needed to I needed to clear this up, because I saw people in the comments. There's some subscribers in there that I really like, and if there's one thing that I hate, it's when there's people that I really care about and that I like who suddenly think of me in some way based on I'm not even going to say what other people say, because I'm not going to go there. I will blame it on myself. I will say because I didn't communicate well. So I felt that I needed to clarify this. Because the last thing I want is for some of my subscribers that I really have grown to care for hating my guts for something that isn't even real. So hopefully people get the message. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, and I will be seeing you guys very, very soon.